happening, Bart? How are you, buddy?
With the spinner rims.
We call it Deacon Do Wrong. First of all, that's Brian Jones with the Deacon suits, man. My suits are fashion forward.
That's true.
I can't believe that, Tiki. Come on, man. You could Beverly Hills Cop. I tried to chime in, but ain't turn my mic
remember. I can't remember those. I can't remember those Eddie Murphy movies. It's been so long since I've actually seen one of those.
It has been a while.
Well, I tell you what. Happy belated birthday to is it daughter?
Yes, Brooklyn. Yeah, she turned 2 on 27.
I'm sorry I couldn't make it. I was going to try and crash the party, man.
Oh, you should have come on in, man. We weren't that far from you, actually.
I know, man. We got to get together, but that's for all.
I'm gonna bring my boys out there to destroy your land, your 10 acres you got out there.
Hey, that's all good. They can come till the field. Man.
You boys done bragging about how much money you have and how big the estates are? We talk some football
we
here or what?
falling on the budget over here.
Hey, Bart, let me ask you a question. Let's start with this. We just had Jordy Nelson on the show, right? Packers wideout. Obviously, he's hurt. He'll be back next season. And we asked him to respond to Coach McCarthy's comments about how grossly out of shape Eddie Lacy is. And, he kind of answered it. And
he's a teammate. He can't. We know.
Yeah, he didn't want to throw him under the bus, which we understand. If that's your teammate and he's that important to the team, you say something? I mean, how do you handle that inside the locker room? Because it's obvious Lacy's not being a professional when it comes to that.
Well, as a leader, we all have our vices. We all have our struggles. Usually it's some of the big guys. I remember, we had a guy named Howard. I ain't gonna say his first name, but Rex told him to lose some weight over the bye week. He gained 12 pounds.
Get out of here.
Cut him. I swear to God, Rex cut him. His name is Howard Gray. Rex cut him. He went to Green Bay and won a Super Bowl.
Oh,
so I guess those are welcome calories. But what happens is when you have teammates like that, it's up to some of the leadership, some of the guys that mentor this kid to say, hey, because it's hard to get in shape and lose weight during the season. You have to get them in the off season and say, hey, let's get in tip-top shape. I'm training here. Meet me here. Or wherever you're training, I'm training. And you have to push them and motivate them. And what happens is when you get in the best shape of your life, you always search to get back there. So he's just never been there. It's never been a big deal. He's always been one of these big wiggles, like we like to call one of these big guys like Jerome Bennett that, was nifty for his size. But at some point, it's become a hindrance. And you can tell this was when it became an issue. After that big run, I don't remember hearing his name or seeing him during the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Now you fast forward to a guy like Larry Fitzgerald. He takes his 75 yards. He stays in. He gets the ball thrown to him again. Then he catches the shuffle pass. That's the difference in a conditioned athlete. He's able to affect the game, because he can think rationally because he's in shape. The first thing to go when you're tired is your mind.
Yeah, and if you don't get tired, then your mind stays in it and you make some big plays going down the stretch. We saw another example. I don't want to say it's race motivated, but I mean you got to ask the question. Cam Newton gets a towel thrown in his face. He's jovial about it. It's not like he's stomping on a 12-man towel. He throws it onto the field and just keeps on going. And he gets another letter written to him like he did from earlier in the season when they played the Tennessee
celebration.
Yeah, when they played the Tennessee Titans. If he was a white quarterback, would this be an issue? Is this a racial situation because of the color of his skin and the exuberance with which he plays the position?
It's not because of the exuberance in which he plays the position. Because I hear Psycho Tom get here's Bart again talk about the Tom Brady, but Psycho Tom gets celebrated. Discount double check. Pelvis Thrust gets a commercial, and Travis Kelce gets celebrated for doing the nay. And now here he's coming, a guy that I think should be put on the pedestal. I mean, what about that feature? I believe it was on Fox where they had the kids, the balls that the touchdown balls that they received from Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Why did he write a letter about that? How awesome that was, or about the Halloween party when he dressed up as Superman for ill kids. But of course it's racist. Because we have other colorful personalities that are celebrated. And this is the second one he's gotten.
I'm listening to this, and I don't know what to think. I don't think it's race. I mean, that's just my personal opinion.
It's racist, man.
But here's the thing, Bart. Hear me out for a second. I know where you're coming from, and I respect that. But there's a lot of black athletes now that I don't feel like it's the 1970s. And I feel like when somebody makes a statement, even if you're right, I feel like it's unfair to the progress that we have made where so many young black athletes are put on the proper pedestal and respected. I think it's more about Cam's attitude than the color of it, or at least maybe a combination of his attitude and the color of his skin. I don't know that it's solely driven through race. I can't buy that, man.
But it may not
I
be,
can't.
You can call it, fandom. People of other teams that go to the extreme. But I mean, come on, man. That plays a role in it as well. Because I didn't hear any of the opposing teams or fans ever make any of the writing letters because of what Aaron Rodgers does or what Travis Kelce does. He has one of the craziest. He's doing the nay. He has all these crazy celebrations. I've never heard it once. I've never even heard it mentioned.
And even if it's not racist by nature, but by perception it is, because there may have been letters written to Aaron Rodgers, but they were never printed. They were never picked up by.
But to be fair, and Mike, maybe Bart, our producer is Mike. Mike, maybe you know the answer to this. Are we sure that Sarah, who wrote the letter, what color is she? Do we even know? I mean, what if she's black?
I don't think it matters. I don't think it's a white on black
but
thing.
But to this story, I think it would matter. I think it would
influence
influence how people view it for sure.
I think it's a perception of race in this country, both by whites and blacks. Because there are some, Bart can back this up, African Americans who despise how blacks act in some cultures. You know what I mean? And so I don't think it's necessarily about a white person saying this is a black issue. I think it's just about the perception of blackness in sports.
Right. And bringing a playground here, do it, act like you've been there before, and blah 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 and blah blah blah. I think he should be celebrated for a season. How he's taking his team and put him on his back. The team that none of us had in this position. He's the MVP. And I think he, really should be the face of the NFL, just like J.J. Watt is the face of the NFL. You look at what J.J. Watt does and his interaction with kids and fans before the game. I think Cam Newton, what he does, post celebration for touchdowns and making sure that all his teammates give those balls away, I think should be celebrated.
Bart, you played against Brady for years. We're talking to Bart Scott, of course, former player, terrific career, Ravens and the Jets, and he's with the NFL today, and he's with us here on Tiki and Tierney, CBS Sports Radio. As you watch film, has he actually gotten better since you retired? Is that possible?
Man, right now, Tom Brady's like a Jedi, man. He's on a whole nother level. He's on a whole nother wavelength, of how he just thinks the game, and he makes it look so easy. It doesn't matter who's in there. You can tell the chemistry that he has, and you can tell the reps that he's had with Gronkowski, with Edelman. You cut off the drive route, they have automatic pivot. So you can never be right. You can never be right. You cut him off, he pivots out, and they both think the same way. They can read off of each other by their body language. And when you start reading body chemistry and gestures and eye winks and head nods, and they've been in these situations so many times that they have the experience to draw back on of how to, a team's plan is this way, we're going to do this. So they always have an answer. And so you always have to have an extra guy in there to try and outthink them. It's just tough to do. I looked at the Kansas City Chiefs, and they took their strength away. Throw the ball before you even get an opportunity to get to Brady. And it doesn't matter. I mean, Brady didn't even need an offensive line. It was like 7-on-7.
Yeah. All right, man, what's the best Super Bowl matchup? We're all going to be out there for the Super Bowl. What, just from a fan's point of view, sheer theater, what's the game you want to see the most, man?
I tell you, it's tough, man, but I definitely want to see the Patriots versus Cam Newton and what Cam can do and what that defense can do. You think about Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly out there, trying to match up with Grunt. We've seen those guys use those big linebackers, athletic, and they make plays. I mean, how about this? Thomas Davis was the guy on the hands team, bro.
Yeah.
That's how much faith they have.
Right.
I haven't seen a linebacker combination like this since Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman, man. Two guys that are just at the top of their game at the same time. But with all that being said, I mean, to me, I've been saying all year long that the Arizona Cardinals are the best team in the NFL, and Carson Palmer is a guy that should be in the running. He won't get it before the MVP. But Bruce Arians, I think, and Larry Fitzgerald, talking about, averaging more receiving yards than anybody in NFL in playoff history. And Bruce Arians just does one thing. He just attacks. He don't care what the game is, what you think about what call he made. He just attacks. I would love to see that matchup as well, the white, greeny, how they can match up,
yeah,
and how they attempt to match up against the Patriots. So I can take either one because Cam with the star power, but it's equally as a star as Cam is. Larry Fitzgerald is equal, and exciting to watch. And I think you can't go wrong either way, but I think it should include the Patriots. I think the Patriots should represent the AFC.
There you go.